This is video lecture series of software engineering MTech second sem subject. Let's begin with lecture first on module 1. So what is software engineering? It can be explained differently. First, what is software? Software is defined as a set of program containing instruction which provide some functionality. And engineering means the process of designing and building something that serve for a particular purpose. So this is the definition of software engineering. Every software has different requirements. A requirement specify that the business functions the user will be able to perform using the system to be of different situation or context. Other concerns such as how the system will manage the resources, for example computing, networking, etc. How the system will manage and protect the user data, etc. User requirement will often be at high level. They are different than software requirement needed by the developer. So user requirement are different and developer requirement are different. Developers depend upon user requirement and as per user requirement the software is developed. Requirement, it is a feature of system which is capable of doing in order to fulfill the system purpose. The work product of requirement engineering is it produces a large document written in natural language, contains description what the system can do without describing how. Requirement engineering, it's a process of establishing the services that the customer requires from the system and constraint under which it operates. The requirement themselves are the description of the systems which are generated during the requirement engineering process. The various components of requirement engineering are as follows. The mainly three components are there: requirement gathering, requirement analysis and requirement specification. Requirement gathering deals with helps the customer to define what is required, what is to be accomplished, how the system will fit into the need of the business. Requirement analysis defines refining and modifying the gathered requirements, and requirement specification is documenting the system requirement. Diagrammatical representation of previous slide is shown. The three main components as shown we can see: requirement gathering, requirement analysis and requirement specification. The requirement gatherings get the input from object oriented analysis and design and structure analysis design. The three components get the input also from agile development user stories. Requirement analysis and specification get inputs from aspect oriented requirements. Here we can see a requirement and specification. It can be differentiated in two ways: problem domain and software domain. Problem domain deal with the customer. A customer facing any problem for a particular software describes its problem, and the software engineer analyze that problem. It specifies and develop a program which solve all the problem of a customer or a user. Let's see some real world scenario example for problem analysis. First is traffic monitoring. Problem is user is delayed to work and need helps. There are different causes shown. Cause A, traffic is unpredictable. B, user is unfamiliar with the route. C, user has habit of starting late. Example is restaurant automation. Problem, restaurant is operating at loss and customer are unhappy. Cause A, Staff is encumbered with poor communication and clerical duties. Cause B. The menu does not match with the customer taste. C. Staff is misbehaving with customers. Third example is health monitoring. Problem: user is leading unhealthy lifestyle and experiencing health problem. There are different causes shown. Cause A: user is trying to be active but not unsure about sufficient level. Cause B: user is trying to be active but too busy with other duties. Cause C: user cannot find affordable solution. D: user has poor sleep. E: user is aware of issue but not motivated to act. Safe home access. Problem detected: difficult access or unwanted intrusion. Analysis of the cause: user forget to lock the door, user loses the physical key, inability to track the history of access, intruder gain access. Practical requirement of engineering: here you can perform practicals, test your ideas in practice and use the result for further work. No one can know all the constraints for the solution before they go through the solving the experiences. Define the criteria measuring which are for measuring the success. Avoid random trial and error. You can perform all the real world scenario as described in previous slide and try to practice it.